Welcome students to class 12 English classes conducted by your English teacher Monica Kaur. Before I initiate Flamingo, please I would like to request you to like, share and subscribe my channel. Poem 2, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, Part 2. Hello students, once again welcome to class 12 English classes. Students, today we are going to do the stanza number 2 and 3 in this video. Okay, and side by side we will do the vocabulary, relatable vocabulary as well as the poetic devices of the stanzas only. Okay, so students, let's start. The second stanza starts with on sour cream. That is on soar. This is on soar. On soar, green walls, and this is up to stars of words. This paragraph starts with that on soar. Now in this paragraph, poet is describing that slum school classroom. Okay. And what he is telling that when that was being made, at that very time, the walls of that school was being painted or that class was being painted, but now its paint was totally out. It's being dull, it's being dim, and there he had used what simile, sour cream. Here that walls of the classroom is being described with these two words, sour cream, and here the poet has used the poetic device simile to show that the walls are not at all being freshly painted. It's being painted when it is being made, the school was being made, and after that it has never been made. It has never been painted. And the plaster is coming out. The classrooms, that environment is really very bad, very dirty, but even in spite of that the post means that the wall plaster is coming and it's not being painted at all, but then also those walls are having a different type of the posters, and those posters are being donated by the charity club or by the privileged people as a donation. Okay, the posters are of very eminent and popular educationists who have changed the aura or the limitation of the education in the society. And who is that personality whose poster is being there on the wall, students? That is Shakespeare. Shakespeare's poster is there on the wall of that classroom, which is in the slum area, in the school of that slum area. Okay, now education is said to be similar to the rising sun. Education, that as the sun's rays are for everyone. Okay, so education should be for everyone. It spreads in all the people life. Okay, just as the sun spread its sunlight to everyone. Sun didn't say, or sun doesn't say that it would not going to put the rays onto the slum areas. It is giving its rays to the slum area. When the nature is not at all doing any injustice or inequality, then why we people are doing that inequality and injustice with these slum children? Okay, now Shakespeare is here considered to be the symbol. Guys, Shakespeare has been here. Shakespeare has been shown as the symbol of what? The culture. The culture, okay, culture, then education, intelligence. Okay guys, so now if you will see that Shakespeare has been used as the what, a culture, as the education, and as the intelligence. The name of Shakespeare itself shows that how eminent personality, how popular personality, how a very, very intellectual personality he was, that his posters are being posted or pasted on the walls of the classroom to show that the education system has changed, to show that how the education system has been changed from over from the ancient period to still this. So he is considered, Shakespeare is being considered as the symbol of the intelligence and education. There is another poster on the wall which is very dirty. The wall now which is too dull that even the black spots are being visible on that. These personalities, that this type of the personality poster is being there. Think it, students, is it worthful? We will come back to it later on. Then another poster is of the Troilus Valley poster. Now this Troilus Valley is being in the hilly areas of Australia with a beautiful and different colorful flowers. And now this, what this shows to them, and this is the symbolization of the nature. The Troilus Valley is the symbolization of what, beautiful creature of the nature. Would they be able to see this creation? This is a big question. Okay. Another chart is also there. Another chart is a map, a world map that is being pasted on that dirty wall of a slum school classroom. Okay. And there the poet has used, in that poet, the poet has used metaphor. How the poet has used a metaphor speech here? Now, the poetic device metaphor tells us that map shows us what, students? The map shows us the different beautiful that states, countries with the rivers, mountains, the glaciers, the icelands, okay, the islands, and many other things in the world map. Okay, so here metaphor is to signify that they are sharing with them the knowledge of the world. They are sharing generously, they are sharing charitably with them the knowledge of the world. But then the question I asked you during my explanation, do you think really that colorful flower valley poster and eminent personalities poster like of Shakespeare and a great poster of the world map are meaningful or worthful to them? Here the poet is putting up emphasis that these three posters are totally worthless and meaningless to them. Why? Because their world are totally different from these pictures. These pictures are not having their world, the real world of them. But these pictures are hanging in their class or outside of their class only for the attraction, only for attract, only for to create an illusion in their mind. That's it. Their images or visions go beyond their reality. After, obviously, they are kids. Whenever they saw these type of the posters, they also wanted to dream for that type of a life. But the reality is what? That they would not reach to it. That the reality is really dark and dim and hopeless. Their future is totally covered. They would not go beyond their reality limitations. Okay, so that's why the poet said that all these things are really not at all good for them. Now what he wanted, the that is point is avoiding the world its world. Now here what the poet wanted, that let's avoid them. Avoiding means that the poet is telling the rich people or the privileged people that draw those type of the maps which provide them the world beautification with their reality. He wanted them to provide those type of the maps to them. And yet for these, now here these means what? Children of the slum school. Okay, now children, these windows, not this map, their world. Now what he is trying to say it over here, guys, that they wanted those type of the windows where they would in reality see their what dreams. He wanted that those type of the windows, the classroom windows, must provide them such type of the opportunities which let them to go and grab it, not these type of the maps of the world. He wanted that their real map, their reality of the map should be there in their classroom rather than an illusion or the fake maps. Okay, now where all their futures painted with a fog. Here fog refers to unclear. Fog means unclear. Okay, now what he is telling us, that he wanted those type of the windows or that type of their destinies which are not at all unclear. He wanted their dreams to be real. He wanted their wishes to be real because of that classroom education. But the classroom education should not give them illusionistic that life. They must give them the real life. Okay, so a narrow street sealed in with the lead sky. What here means? A narrow street. In this, the poet has referred metaphor. Narrow street, you all know what it is. That is a very small street in breadth, and that even many of the vehicles or the people would not go at once. We have to wait for our turns. Okay, so here the narrow street is a metaphor used and signifies what? That the limitation of their future is really very limited. They are having a very less opportunities. Are having a very less that they could change their destinies on their own. Now sealed with the lead sky, guys, again here the poet has used a metaphor. Now what this signifies, it indicates what, guys, that their sky is totally being blocked. They are not having the opportunity to go and see their natural sky, their part of the sky. The God has given them the birth, the God has given the sky, the nature, but even their sky is too limited. That is of gray, means dark color. Even their sky is of dark color, and these children future is too dark that they do not have any options in their life to get out from their struggling or poverty life. Okay, now the last line, far far from rivers, capes and stars of the world. Here far far is, guys, a repetitive. Here repetition means what? That whole of the opportunities, whole of the lifestyles, everything is really very out of their reach. They are really very means far away from them. These slum children are totally unconnected from the nature which is free from which is free for everyone. Even they would not go and see their part of nature at all. Okay, now here, guys, the stars of the words. Stars means what? If you people see it, that when there is a night in the sky, when the sun is not there, the stars twinkling bright light provides us a light and enlighten our path in the night. But stars means here guys, that shining in their dark light means through the real education, the light of knowledge. Words here refers to the light of knowledge. Now, even they do not have their part of the stars. These children's future are really dark. They do not have their stars, the real education with them to change or to enlighten their path of that darkness. Guys, this is the second paragraph. Let's start the third paragraph. Hari. So students, let's start with the third stanza. Third stanza starts from, students, surely Shakespeare is wicked. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, up to as big as doom. The first line tells us, and it is connected with the last stanza. If you people remember, I told you what? That for these students, the poster of an eminent personality like Shakespeare is totally null and void. It's worthless. Why it is? Because they are not getting the real opportunities of education. Because their education is just a matter of illusion, that's it. Nothing else, nothing more of anything else. Okay, so that's why the poet has used what here? Shakespeare as a wicked. Wicked means what? Evil. Evil here refers to bad. Bad example for the children like slum area who are really not getting any sort of the opportunity in their life, or they are not being accepted by the high class or the privileged societies. Then what is the use of putting up the posters of Shakespeare over there? So that is why Shakespeare is being called the bad example for what? For those kids. Okay, and so it is being, these pictures with bright color and of great personalities only trap them. They are only to create the illusion in their mind, but in reality what? They have no meaning for the children. Because why? Because they are not getting the real education, students. Because they are not getting their part of opportunities. They are not being accepted by the privileged people. They are only a part of their donation, that's it. That's why the poet has told them that Shakespeare is totally a bad example. Not only the Shakespeare, because the children's why it is so? Because the children's upbringing is like that they never have heard the word of Shakespeare. They never have heard the name of the Shakespeare. Even the teachers, those who are teaching them, they never have taken the name of Shakespeare, and they never have told anything about that eminent personality. They only go for the bad qualities because they have seen their environment is like that only. They have only have seen the bad things, so they always there in mind bring up with those bad things only. So Shakespeare is really a very bad idea, and it is not at all a benefit picture for these type of the children. The picture of map which shows the ships, which shows the sun, which shows or which indicates a travel, acceptance of the world in a large. Okay, that is also a bad example for these type of the children, because these type of the pictures are really beyond their ability. They are not in that position to get out of their slum areas. They are not in position to go and then grab their own nature. So how could they be able to travel to the other world? Okay, so instead of the desire, instead of what that means, instead of aiming all these things for their focal point, for their concentration to get something, these type of the things force them to go and to snatch this type of the lifestyle, and sometimes they become criminals. They use the shortcut method to get into the privileged life. They get into the rich life, and they use the path of crime. So these means everything, Shakespeare, map, and all the colorful, that attractive posters are just illusion and making their mind more dirty and more vulnerable towards that crime. Okay. Now the another is what, that for life that slyly turn in their crammed holes. Guys, crammed holes here refers to their houses, and here the poet has used a metaphor. Crammed holes refer to their houses. This is the significance for their houses, guys. Okay, so what here means, that slyly means what, cunning, that the children, the slum children, are really brought up in their environment, so like that they are adapted to that environment, and very immediately, cunningly, they adapt that they have to live in those dark places also, which are known as crammed holes for them. A very means what, crammed holes, a very small houses. Okay, now here crammed hole refers to what, that indicating the space of their houses, that the space of their houses are so less, but the family members are so in number, that even means they get to know it, how to adjust in that part. So they are really very cunning to adjust themselves in that less space also. Okay, they have adapted themselves like that only. Now the next line, from fog to endless night on this slag heap these children. From fog here, guys, from fog, F is repeating, so alliteration the poet has used, and here fog, specially for fog, metaphor speech has been used, especially for fog, metaphor speech, because fog here used for the day. And if you remember, I told you in second paragraph that what they wanted, that that the poet wanted them a clear dream. So fog here refers to that. Fog here refers to the clear dreams, clear day, and endless nights. Now guys, endless nights also have a metaphor. Endless nights means here what it means, that never ending process. The dark process of their life is never to be ended. It is not going to end at all. Their days are foggish. The poet wanted their days to be clear, but they are living in such a small houses, that even such a crammed holes, that even their days are what, it's being totally painted with that unclear side. Not only, guys, days are foggish, but even their nights are also what, their nights are also never ending process of that darkness of their poverty and struggling. That's why the poet has used what, metaphor, like endless night. Endless means the darkness of the night is endless, so their struggles of the life are also endless. That is what here it means. Okay, so next line, bear skins peep through by bones and spectacles of steel. Now the children, due to the malnutrition, not getting the basic amenities of the life, not getting the proper food, not getting the proper nourishment since from their birth. Okay, so the children are so thin, They are so skinny that even their clothes are like a skin, and their skeleton is visible through them. This is due to lack of nutrition in their food. This is due to the lack of malnutrition. Okay, they have although worn what spectacles of that glasses taken made up of steel, which are really very cheap, heavy and uncomfortable, and means they do not have that much of the money to spend on themselves. So they are adjusting that what else comes, they only wanted to see, that's it. It doesn't matter that whether the spectacles are or heavy or not. And they knew it very well that it is not good for their eyes, but still what to do, they have to adjust here also. Here it signifies, their spectacles signifies the outlook of the life. They are not wearing it to for that fashion that era. They are not wearing it for creating a fashion, okay, but they are wearing it for their own use, that's it. Okay, so it signifies that cheap glass, that that spectacle, and that heavy spectacle which is totally uncomfortable, it is similar to their struggles of the life. It is similar as their life is so much filled with struggles, and that's how even their spectacles are so heavy, with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. When they are sitting nearby any of the slag heap means what, guys? Slag heap means area of waste, okay, where the garbage is being there. They used to sit there, and they were seen what, they were seen this like they were also seen like the garbage. They are similar to that garbage only, like bottle bits on stones. Here again the poet has used metaphor speech. Again poet has used metaphor speech. Why poet has used that? To describe the lenses in their spectacles, which have been repaired. Similarly, their dreams have also broken by the harsh reality of their life. Their dreams have been like the lenses of their spectacles, their steel spectacles. They are broken, amended by them only, because they do not have that much of the money to go and buy another lens. So their life is like that. Their dreams are like that. And then next is that all of their time and space, guys, again poet has used a metaphor speech. Why he has used here metaphor speech? He has used their metaphor speech to show that their life is totally covered with darkness, dirtiness, and without any hope. Their life is totally with all these things: darkness, dirtiness, and hopelessness. Their chances to escape from their that darkness, from their pathetic condition, from their poverty, from their struggling period, is totally limited. It is totally limited. They would not be able to. But this classroom, this school building has reduced their even a single chance to change themselves. The school and government are only making these slums for their own profits. They are letting these people live in the slum. They are giving them the slums, and like this there is an increment in the slum areas. There are increasing in the areas of the slum. The education system is such in this slum area school that it is forcing them to live in that slum only and not to come out of them. The education system is not at all real. The education system is not at all worthful for them. The education system is not at all good enough to let them to have their own sky, to let them have their own life. So what he wanted them to what? To blot their maps. Blot means what? Covering pictures. Because those maps are really a black spot for these children. They are the blemish on the face, on the mind of these children. So with angriness, so with anguish, so with that annoyance, poet wanted them to blot the map, the world map which is not showing the slum area, which is not showing the reality of the world with that slum area. These type of the maps, the poet wanted it to be totally covered or totally being blotted by the government or by that privileged people. He wanted the maps with the slums. He wanted the maps should have the reality of the slum, and so that they must realize about their reality. That their reality, the darkness of that life is also there in that map. And they would understand that their power is limited. They would not going to get any opportunity or dream or neither being accepted by the society. And here doom refers to what? Death or darkness like death. Okay guys? So guys, this is the paraphrasing of the stanza third. Okay, so guys, I will be coming back soon with my next video of this chapter, of this poem only. So please, what you have to do, yes, like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel, as well as please ring the bell icon for the notifications. I'll be back. Take good care of yourself. These are the 3 questions from the done stanza number 2 as assignment number 2.